What is the name of these newcomers again, Topham?
Here you go. Their name should be here.
I see Red from the Bluebell Railway, Subway from New York, and Brandon from Australia. Interesting. Well, I'll be looking forward to meeting them all. How long have they been working here?
Well, over a year now. You would have met them sooner if last year hadn't been so rough.
Right. Oh well, better late than never, as they say. Now I hear you're planning some sort of welcome party for those 3 engines. Is that right?
Yes, indeed. I'll talk to the engines first thing tomorrow morning, which includes James, Stepney, and Molly. I'm sure they're just as excited as the others are.
So, what's this form all about?
That, Inspector, is a surprise for one of the newcomers. I'm sure he'll like it. I'd say it suits him.
I see. Alright then. With that, I'm sure everything settles. I'll come with you tomorrow to check in with Red, Subway, and Brandon, and make sure they're working well and ready for the gathering tonight.
Everything is settled, Inspector.
Right then. Good evening, sir. See you tomorrow morning.
Good night.
All the engines were excited about the news. They couldn't wait to attend the gathering.
It certainly will be a good party for those 3. They've all been hard workers.
I heard Red helped some passengers in a storm. He's so brave in tackling the harsh weather.
Don't forget Subway too. He rescued Molly from falling off a bridge.
Any engine could tackle obstacles like those 2. They still won't be as important as big express engines such as me.
Well, Gordon, I wouldn't say going on a joyride on a large lorry would be classified as important, but who knows? Maybe going for a swim could be important.
Ha! It wasn't my fault. James and Brandon played a trick on me.
Still, you have to admit that it was kind of funny.
Good morning, engines. I'm sure you're all aware of the news that's been going around.
The welcome party, sir.
Well, that's right, Percy. And you will all be working hard to make sure it becomes ready for our newcomers. Edward, I'll be coming with you to Knapford to collect the inspector so he can meet them. Thomas and Percy will collect some decorations. And Henry and Gordon will be on the passenger runs.
Yes, sir.
Wait, what about James, sir? Will he be working with Brandon?
Yes, Edward, and Stepney will be working with Red, and Molly with Subway. Now then, let's meet the inspector. Off you go now, the rest of you.
All the engines were working hard. Thomas and Percy collected trucks filled with decorations. And Gordon and Henry collected passengers. Meanwhile, James was pulling a slow goods train. While he didn't enjoy it, he was at least glad Brandon would handle some of it when he reached the next station.
A welcome party for Brandon. How splendid it must be.
G'day, James. I see that you're ahead of schedule. You must be in a good mood.
Yes, I am. Have you heard the news?
About the welcome gathering? Of course. How do I look, though? Am I dirty?
You're not so dirty. But with a quick wash down, you'll look as almost as splendid as me.
Morning, James. Morning, Brandon. Sir Topham Hatt needs to speak with both of you.
Ah, yes, right. I've brought the inspector to make sure Brandon is ready for tonight. So I'd like you to finish up all your work, and James shall take Brandon back to Tidmouth Sheds, where Thomas will lead everyone.
Oh, yes, sir.
Shape-wise, everything looks properly structured. You can carry the heaviest of loads. Alright, I'd like to have a ride. That way I can see how you run on the roads.
You and Brandon must be getting along nicely, James. I never thought I'd see you so happy pulling trucks.
When you have a friend like him that can handle the heavy goods, work becomes easier. He's even careful with it. I bet he's doing well with the inspector as we speak.
James was right about Brandon being careful with his loads, and while the inspector was even impressed at how smooth he ran, Brandon was nervous about what the inspector might think of him in the end. He was too busy worrying that he didn't see George the steamroller in front of him. When he did see, he swerved immediately.
Blocking my way. You stupid lorry!
Brandon felt ashamed of himself.
I'm so sorry, sirs. I should have paid more attention.
That's alright, Brandon. No harm done after all. We'll call for help and continue on the journey.
Once help arrived and everything was put right, Brandon continued on his journey and finally reached his destination.
Well, despite the little bump we had back there, Brandon is still able to drive smoothly with care. I think he's quite ready to go to Knapford.
Brandon felt relieved that it was over, but still felt sorry about his slip-up. Next, the inspector wanted to visit Stepney's branch line and see how the new Bluebell engine, Red, was getting along. At the station there, Stepney was resting in a siding while Red chuffed in finishing up his morning run.
I must say, you handled the coaches well. I'm surprised you didn't pull them more often.
It beats pulling trucks back and forth for sure. Coaches are special things.
Speaking of specials, I'm looking forward to the party at Knapford. Everyone is pleased to have you at this railway.
Oh, certainly, but I'm a bit nervous. Do you think it'll go right?
Oh ho, don't worry, Red. It's just a gathering crediting you for being here and all the hard work you've done. Besides, Stepney and I will be here with you.
Exactly. Not to mention that you're not the only one that's new to the island. There's a subway engine from New York City called Subway. And a large lorry all the way from Australia named Brandon. I'm sure you'll grow fond of both of them.
And here is the Bluebell Valley Station, where Stepney and Red work, taking visitors up and down the line. Ah, and this is Stuart William. He is Red's driver. He'll be showing you how his engine runs.
It's quite nice to meet you, Stuart. I've heard amazing stories about you and your engine.
It's a pleasure, sir. Glad you could arrive to make sure Red is ready. He is a tad nervous, I must say.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be fine before the event. Now then, I'd like to take a ride in the cab, please.
Right away, sir. Come this way.
Good luck, Red. Make sure to go easy down the line.
It's nice seeing him doing some more important work for a change. You must be proud.
I certainly am, and tonight will show how grateful I was.
Do you think he'll be alright? His driver said he was feeling nervous.
Don't worry, Edward. He'll be fine. He just hasn't been to a big occasion like this before. I'll make sure he'll ease himself. Good luck, Red.
Red was running smoothly. Mr. William checked him to make sure he did so, and the inspector was pleased indeed.
I say, Red here is a smooth runner. Hops well, and he's quite a good driver.
Why, thank you, sir. Me and him make quite the pair.
Red arrived at the station in good time. The inspector was certainly impressed.
Thank you for the ride, Red. Jolly good time. Now, sir, I'd like to see this newest subway engine. Mind if you give us a ride back, Red?
Of course, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, how'd it go?
It went along splendidly. I think I'll be ready. James was resting at the sheds after he had delivered his goods. Molly and Subway were also there, waiting for the inspector.
So I heard that one of you three will be getting something special. Think you know what it will be?
Probably a token of my gratitude, or something. Maybe even a trophy.
I'd take a new shiny coat of paint over trophies any day. Thank you very much.
Of course it would, James. Anyhow, I'm sure it'll be something more than that. We just need to see what it is exactly, and for who it's for.
I hope it's Brandon. He deserves a reward after the work he's done.
Oh, speaking of which, here he is.
Welcome back. Did the inspection go well?
Well, for the most part.
Most part? What do you mean?
I may have had a bit of an accident on the road. I wasn't paying attention, and when I saw a steamroller, I'd spilt all of the cargo on the ground. I don't think the inspector was pleased about that.
Well, the important thing is that you're alright, and surely Sir Topham Hatt and the inspector were too. I'm sure you didn't mean to do that.
Certainly not. I just wanted to prove that I could be useful and ready for the gathering.
Don't worry, Brandon. You're already useful. Think how many accidents I've had, and nothing's changed. They'll brush it off soon.
Before Brandon could reply, Edward pulled into the yard.
Hello, Subway, Molly. The inspector's here to take a ride in Subway and see if he's well before tonight.
Oh, yes, sir. I'll get ready at the platform right away.
Subway waited on the platform as Sir Topham Hatt with the inspector climbed in and left the station as soon as the whistle blew.
Take care now.
I suppose I'll go back to my shed to refuel. I had a long morning, and I think I need a rest.
Come on now, Brandon. Don't act all upset. It wasn't your fault.
I'll see you later, James.
James felt sorry for Brandon, and he knew that he had to bring him to the party, so he puffed out of the sheds and followed after him. Meanwhile, the inspector was taking down notes on Subway's performance while he was out on the main line.
So Subway was given different wheels and couplings after he was bought. It took some time for him to get used to, but he now says it suits him.
And I can see why. He's a smooth brother, just like Red, and he goes at quite a good speed. Perfect for keeping to time. However, I suggest cleaning those seats and the floor there. Some passengers won't like that at all, and that would never do.
I'll make sure he has a washdown beforehand, as for the others too. The workmen have also made sure he doesn't require a third rail in order to operate. Some would say he is a hybrid.
Good. Very interesting indeed. We're about to reach Elsbridge. I like to see how well he stops.
Subway made his stop at Elsbridge, managing to stop perfectly. Henry and Thomas were there waiting for their passengers to climb aboard.
Afternoon, Subway. Are you on your inspection?
Yes, I am. I think it's going well.
That's good. Remember to meet Red and Brandon at Tidmouth Sheds tonight. We've got Knapford Station ready for the party. I'll be there to guide all three of you. Oh, must be off. I have a branch line to run. Goodbye, you two.
Have you met Brandon and Red yet?
I met Brandon at Knapford, although he was upset about his inspection. He had a little accident on the road, but I'm sure he'll feel better. As for Red, I still have to meet him.
Come along, Subway. Off we go now. We'll stop at Kelsthorpe.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, goodbye, Henry. See you at Knapford.
Goodbye.
Brandon, are you alright?
No, not really. I made a mess of things back there. Maybe I'm not ready for the railway or the party.
Don't be such a tosser. It wasn't your fault. Some steamrollers that we know are quite the bother. Now cheer up, Brandon. We only have a couple of hours before the party begins. Let's get you cleaned up and head to Knapford.
Brandon let out a sigh, knowing that James was right, and drove away with him. Meanwhile, on Stepney's branch line, Stepney and Red were getting ready to head out to Knapford.
Mr. William, are you sure we shouldn't refill on cold water before we leave?
Not to worry. I'm positively sure we have enough for the journey.
Well, if you say so.
Come along then. I'll lead the way to Knapford.
Right behind you.
Subway had reached Kelstorp Station and dropped off the inspector and Sir Topham Hatt. He was about to set off back to Knapford when...
God! What happened?
It seems like your generator is jammed. Simple fix though. I'll have to go and call for help for a mechanic.
Doesn't seem like you have to. I hear engines coming.
Stepney was puffing towards Kelstorp and saw Subway. He was about to whistle until...
Red, look out! Are you alright?
I think so. I've run out of coal and water.
So have I.
Oh dear, this is my fault. I should have decided to let you stay to refill before you left.
Never mind, Mr. William. We'll just wait until someone arrives.
The inspector went and phoned for help. At Tithmos Sheds, Molly, Thomas, James, and Brandon were all waiting for the others to arrive. It's nearly time. Where could they be?
They're coming, don't worry. Maybe something's holding them up.
Well, we certainly can't have a party with just Brandon. I say we look for them.
Suddenly, a workman came to the sheds and explained about the bad news on the engines.
Crikey, we best go and rescue them.
Me and James will go. Thomas, you stay here until we return. We wouldn't want the party to be delayed.
Right then, good luck. It got dark fast, but they were all determined to find their friends.
So you must be Red, the lost Bluebell, as some would call you. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm charmed to meet you, Subway. Whoever thought of your name certainly wasn't thinking straight.
I thought the same thing, but I hear you're quite popular around here. I've heard about your daring escape with Stepney, and your brave journey through a storm.
You aren't so far off yourself. You saved this yellow engine before she fell off a bridge. That in itself is courageous.
Huh. Well, I see you become quick friends, Red.
What was that?
Hello, everyone. Don't worry, as I'm here to rescue.
You mean we're here to rescue you?
Yes, I meant to say we're here to rescue you.
Well done, you three. I'm not sure if we'll make it back in time, but it's nearly time for the party.
I have an idea, sir. Why don't I tow Subway and the Bluebells onto my trailer? I'll bring them back to the sheds to be looked at.
Well, if it helps us get there on time, we'll go for your plan, Brandon. Quickly now, we must not delay.
The 3 engines were loaded onto Brandon's trailer, and carefully, Brandon drove away, while Molly and James rushed back to the sheds with him. Once Brandon arrived, the engines were carefully placed onto the tracks and were refilled, cleaned, and repaired quickly. Just in time. Well done.
Wait, everyone. Next stop, Knapford Station. Follow Thomas.
Here they come.
Everyone was enjoying the party. The engines talked to Red and Subway about their times on their line, and some talked to Brandon about life on the road. Strumhead then stepped in front to give a public announcement.
Ladies, gentlemen, engines and lorries, we are gathered to celebrate the arrival of Red, Subway, and Brandon. It has been 1 whole year since they've come to Sodor, and we would all want to give our thanks to them.
When will he talk about the reward?
Shh. It'll be mentioned, perhaps. We'll see and wait.
First off, we'd like to give a round of applause to Stepney, the Bluebell engine, for saving Red from scrap and finding him a home on his branch line. We'd also like to give one to Red for helping a group of passengers home during a harsh storm. is Brandon from all the way in Australia. He's proven to be very strong and useful when it comes to helping out engines in need. Lastly, our first subway engine from New York City. He had saved Molly from a broken bridge, and I'd say Molly is most thankful. We have a most special reward for him. Something that could make him feel truly part of my railway. Subway, I hope you like your new name. Aaron, the subway engine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Well, I suppose we'll finally figure out the reward. You deserve it. Welcome to Sodor, Aaron.
Aaron. Now that's a name I like.
As the party continued, everyone made the 3 new arrivals feel proud to be on Sir Topham Hatt's railway. Brandon the large lorry was most happy to be friends with Red the Bluebell engine and Aaron the subway engine.